So here we have a shelter which I put together using various different materials that could be carried in a pack, weighing probably no more than 35 pounds, including your food. I'll have to do a tear down of it now. Today's the day we head home. I wish I would have thought to do a video of putting it together. This one took some time. This was about 4 hours of work. It features a bed using rope as a sort of like a hammock or a cot type of surface. And it's just covered with the lesser boughs of both cedar and hemlock. The entrance is by way of this here space at the end. So just a few more boughs of hemlock that are shaped in a Y section at some point. And they just slide up this pole here. Just kind of keeps the wind and stuff out. And the inside, here I've got one of my backpack tarps. They're about 5 by 7. And this one's a double-sided, silver foil on one side, blue on the other. Just folded it in half here to match the width of my bed. And this here just reflects my body heat back up. As you can see, there's a space underneath the bed. Fairly large airspace this could be used. Could build a fire just outside the shelter, and then there's open spaces here and here. And if you have large rocks or stones, you could put around the fire until the stones get really hot. You could scrape this surface down. Now the stones themselves wouldn't be as much of a problem fire hazard wise as if you were to try and light a fire or something in this space. I mean, you could. There is lots of height here. There's a small space in front of the bed leading in. You know, from the entryway, it's a good arm's length anyways. And being that it's a canopy of boughs, the smoke would rise and you could have a small, say just a small little twig fire or something on a, yeah, who knows, but just maybe one of those little pocket stoves or an alcohol stove or something like that would be sufficient too. And I found this to be a real sweat box last night. I've got just a mummy bag there, low temperature rated mummy bag, and it's end of May, but it was way too hot. I had to take a few bits of clothing off before I got up. And now I'll pull this out. Of course, covering me on top of that tarp, there's this tarp, which is my sleep base. And then underneath that is the rope work, back and forth between these two beams. You could also use this space underneath as a gear locker for storage, whatever, you know. Maybe you could make it into a two-man sleeper by making a secondary space underneath if there's two people. If I did this if I did this again, I would make the roof just a slight bit higher. Getting in and out of this upper bunk is a little tricky. But yeah, so then I use a second tarp on top of myself inside this space. Again, another 5x7. That blue one over there. And that's my sleeping bag over there and pillow. And it's got a slippery one side and sort of a flocked or felted texture on the other. So I just kept the soft side facing my sleeping bag, and it was toasty as toast. Could be. Anyways. So yeah. Just some lashing and a couple pieces of wood to support the rails while I lashed them in place. Such as this here. Keeps this other rail up against the tree at the right height for me. I'll do a walk around once I tear the boughs and stuff off of it.